Welcome to GeorgeWay Math TV.
So how am I going to simplify this square roots here? Okay, so this is square root of 245. So the first thing that I do is I'm going to see if this is going to give me a whole number. So what is square root of 245? Is it a whole number or a decimal? Square root of 245, is it a whole number? Oh, that's a decimal. I see it says 15.65. Because if it was a whole number, right, I would have put that down as my answer. But because I have a decimal, now I have to look for two numbers that when I multiply, I should get this 245. But one of the numbers should be a perfect square. To be able to figure out the two numbers, this is what I always do. What I'm being taught to do is I have to know all my perfect squares. Because the two numbers that I'm looking for to multiply to give me the 245, one of the numbers should be a perfect square. So I have to know my perfect squares. So I can divide this number by the perfect squares. So, what are my perfect squares? Let me just remind myself, this is how I'm going to create it. I'm going to write 2 to 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to 10, 8, 9, 10. And then, this side will be my perfect square. 2 times 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2, so 4 is a perfect square. 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3, so 9 is a perfect square. 4 times 4 is 16, so 16 is a perfect square. 5 times 5 is 25, 25 is a perfect square. 6 times 6 is 36, 36 is a perfect square. 7 times 7 is 49, 49 is a perfect square. 8 times 8, 64, 64 is a perfect square. 9 times 9 is 81, 81 is a perfect square. 10 times 10 is 100, 100 is a perfect square. So square root of these numbers will give me this side. So this side right here, again, they are all my perfect squares. So whenever I'm given a question that I put the square root, I find the square root of it, and I get a decimal, I have to create my perfect squares like that. And now, all what I'm going to do is, I take this number, and then I divide by this, but I start with the number that is just lower than that. So I did up to 100, right? I'm going to start with 100. So I take 245 divided by 100. If it don't work, I move on to the next one. Because when I divide by the perfect squares, I want to get a whole number. So let's see. 245 divided by 100. Would I get a whole number? Oh, I got decimal. So let me move on to the next one. 245 divided by 81. I have decimal. 245 divided by 64. I have decimal. 245 divided by 49. Oh, I got 5. So when I reached 49, I got a whole number. So 245 divided by 49, that gave me 5. So that means 49 times 5 is 245. So I can break this down to 2 as square root of 49 times square root of 5. And square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 5, there's no square root of 5. So I'll just bring that down. So 7 square root of 5 will be my answer. What about this one? Again, first I'm going to put square root of 45 in the calculator. And I'm expecting to get a whole number. Let's see. Oh, I got a decimal. So because I have a decimal, I have to break it down into 2, like I did right here. To do that, I'm going to take this number and then divide by my perfect squares. But I start dividing by the number that is just lower than 45. So I'll start with the 36. 45 divided by 36. I already have it down, so I didn't have to copy it again. So 45 divided by 36, I got a decimal. I move on to the next one. 45 divided by 25, I got a decimal. 45 divided by 16, I got a decimal. 45 divided by 9 is 5. So when I got to, I did 45 divided by 9, I got 5. So that means 9 times 5 is 45. So I can break this down to 2 as square root of this 9 times square root of that 5 right there. And square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 5, there's no square root of 5. So I'm just going to bring it down. So 3 square root of 5 will be my answer. What about this one right here? This is square root of 27. So again, I'm going to put that in the calculator. Square root of 27. I have a decimal. So because I have a decimal, I'm going to have to break it down to 2 like that. Look for 2 numbers when I multiply. I should get 27. One of the numbers should be a perfect square. So that would mean I have to take this number and then divide by the perfect squares. But I start with the number that is just less than 27. So I'm going to start with 25. And I keep going. So 27 divided by 25. That gave me decimal. 27 divided by 16. That gave me decimal. 27 divided by 9. That is 3. So when I got to 27 divided by 9, I got 3. So that means 9 times 3 is 27. So I can break this down into square root of 9 times square root of 3. And square root of 9 is a perfect square. The square root of 9 is a whole number 3. Square root of 3, there's no square root of 3. So I'm just going to bring that down. So 3 square root of 3 will be my answer. Wow. Alright, what about this one right here? Square root of 128. First, again, I'm going to put that in the calculator. Square root of 128. I have a decimal. So that means I have to look for 2 numbers that when I multiply, I should get 128. One of the numbers should be a perfect square. So that's why I have to take this number and then divide by all my perfect squares. But I always start with the number just less than 128. So I had this up to 100. So I'm going to start with 100. 128 divided by 100. That gave me a decimal. 128 divided by 81. That gave me a decimal. 128 divided by 64. That is a 2. So when I got to 128 divided by the perfect squared 64, I got 2. So that means 64 times 2 is 128. So I can break this down into 2 as square root of 64 times square root of 2. And square root of 64 is 8. So I have my 8. Square root of 2 will stay the same because there's no square root of 2. So the answer is 8 square root of 2. And that's it. Now it's your turn. I want you to please practice, okay? Please keep doing this. Because the more you do it, right, that's how you're going to get it, okay? And I really know you're going to get it.
Please don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell to be notified for new videos, and share.